Now we're going to talk about being a guitarpreneur in 2014. Okay. Basically, we're talking a little bit about goals and stuff. But before that, let's go ahead and play a little bit more so that you guys don't get too bored. Okay. So let's do a different setting here. This is kind of fun. Let's do a different setting. That was Paul Gilbert. Here is what my Petrucci sounds like. I don't know if I created this and named it that, or if I downloaded a patch for this or not. But this is my John Petrucci sound-alike preset. Okay. Now that last one was an A, and just messed around in basically A pentatonic and some other things. So let's go ahead and play a little bit first before we get into that. Play in G a little bit. No delay or anything on that. Let's get some delay on there. There we go. There's just something about watching yourself play guitar. I don't know what it is. But it's fun. You know, you're just like, wow, I didn't know my fingers could do that, you know. It's funny to see it from the other side of things. Easier. Let me show you something here that I've been working on. Just something I just recently started doing. And if you saw the Christmas video, I think this was on the second one, which is Angels We Have Heard on High, where we have the special guest guitarist, the Grinch. And that's something I've been doing a lot with power chords lately, making these huge extensions to add a suspension there. And basically what you're doing is you're going to take, let's just say we're in G, okay? So G power chord, right? We have the G power chord here. Usually I like to just, you know, that's the general shape. What we're going to do is we're going to take our pinky, and this is kind of a stretch. We're going to take our pinky here. Remember, we're going to be as close to the fret as possible, and then put it on the D string. Here at the, we'll skip a fret and then D string. Okay, this is going to be over here. So we're going to skip a fret between the G, the root note, come down a string to the A string, and that's going to be, we're on 3. This is going to be 5. So we skip the 4th fret. Now we're going to skip the 5th fret and come down a string again. So it's kind of a diagonal look. And then we have what's called a, this is a G5, so it's a power chord, but it doesn't have a third, but it has an extension of a 9. So I'm not exactly if that's a G5 suspended, maybe, since it doesn't have a third. But there's also another note here. So it's another 5. So you've got 1 5, or 2, 5. So we have this. We can start out with one note first. Focusing on that. Okay, so then you can add that extra note you're going to bar with your pinky on the G string at the other skip fret, which in this case is the 7th fret. And now for E, the cool thing is all you have to do is come here and make a B power chord, because in the E, that's your 5 and there's your 9 or 2. And you can add that bar right. So that's the E minor. Since it has neither a major nor minor, it has neither a third, so it's neither major or minor, the power chords are. Now with a suspension, it's still neither major or minor, but so we can use it for either one in this case. And at the end, we could go, and I'm not barring my pinky here. It looks like I am. I'm barring it, but I'm not hitting the bottom 2 strings here. I'm barring it to get extra strength there. And then come back down. You can either move your pinky here or just bar with your ring finger. Okay, so I would suggest you bar right here. That way your pinky doesn't have to keep doing this. Okay, so that's just something I've been working on. There's a little lesson for you. So being a guitarpreneur in 2014, okay? Basically, I'm talking about some goals here that I've been working on. My biggest concern, my biggest project right now is my Bluegrass guitar course, okay? I want so bad to get that done and out there for you guys. I've been getting so many requests about it, so many questions about it, and I want to get it done. The last couple months I've had some problems with some video editor VAs that just didn't work out, whether it be technology issues or whatever. They were nice people, but they just couldn't work out. So I'm on the search for a new one, and we're going to see how that works. We're going to start them out smaller, because I realize that there are some things that I still have to be involved in, such as creating the titles and maybe some of the transitions. But the most tedious thing about editing these videos for me is the cropping. In other words, I have to zoom in and zoom out whenever hand shots are needed, because I didn't do that with a camera. I did just a basic shot like this, and for the zooming in and out, I did that. I have to do that in iMovie or some video editing program. Basically, you crop everything else around it, just like I did with the Christmas videos. If you go back and watch Angels We Have Heard on High, all that zooming and panning and everything is done in iMovie. It's a stationary camera shot, and you go in iMovie and crop everything out. So basically, I had to do that. And that's the most tedious thing, because you have to go and figure out where you're looking at the guitar, where you need to zoom back out, so when I'm talking, and I'm not having just my hands sitting here doing this. And that's the most tedious thing, looking and finding that stuff. So I'm hiring a VA for that. And then when it comes back to me, all I have to do is either add transitions, add the little titles for each segment, and also maybe kind of splice some of the videos together. Then I have to export all that, get it ready for a digital download, and in between all that, while they're working on that, I finally got myself setting a good schedule now, to where while they're in the middle of doing that, I can go and start working on little tasks that I've been waiting on. I could have been doing them this whole time, but I haven't, because I thought, well, what's the point? I can't get the tabs done until the video editing is done. I can't get the neck diagrams done until the video editing is done. I can't do all this other stuff because, just blah, making excuses basically, and I apologize for that. But I do want this thing to get released. My goal, and I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, my goal is to get this thing released by March. the end of March at least, and that's the digital version. The digital version of the Bluegrass guitar course. So up until that point, hopefully I'll be able to release some of the promo videos for this that are already done, already tabbed out, already completed. You guys have requested tabs on my YouTube channel, which for me, it's a tedious task to do that. So I hired a tablature VA who's going to be doing tab work for me as long as possible, starting with the Bluegrass guitar course. Okay. Now, once those product videos are released, the promo videos, you'll get the name. I'm doing my best to bite my tongue so that I don't accidentally release the name, because I don't want I don't want it out there right now. I've already bought the domain name. I've already got the name up there, but that will be coming as you see the products, the promo videos. So I've got to get that done, and right now I'm doing my best to get things on track. Okay, so now the last time I tried to share my screen on this thing, it booted me off. So rather than share my screen, I actually have this up here, and I'm going to show it with you. If you'll go to michaelhyatt.com and do a search on his website for how to create more margin in your life, okay? And then the next thing I'm going to tell you to look at is how to use batching to become more productive, okay? Those two posts you need to read immediately and take action on those if you want anything to happen, whether it be New Year's resolutions, business goals, guitar goals, anything like that. Those things need to happen, okay? And you got to read those. Just seriously. One thing that he has on there, so that I don't have to screen share, I have this red link. Now my printer ink is, I just had to recently order some new printer ink, so it's not exactly the best quality. But basically, he has a sheet here on the how to create more margin post in your life. How to create more margin in your life, and it's called My Ideal Week. Okay, and everything is planned out. You have times. Every increment of the day is planned out in 30-minute sections. You have self, things that you do for yourself, things that you do for your work, things that you do for family, friends, and planning for the next day. The things in green are the things that will move him closer towards his goals. Everything in red are things that need to be done, but they are not goal-oriented. They're not something that will help him with the goal. They're usually more or less everyday tasks. And I'm sorry and apologize if this is not clear, but if you'll go to that post, how to create more margin in your life on michaelhyatt.com, do a search for that, then you will be able to download, copy this, and make one of your own. Over here we have, this is supposed to be gray, but like I said, my ink is getting all weird on me. This little gray out area here is the areas in life where you have margin, where you can chill out, or if some of this work bleeds into that margin, you'll be safe. You're flexible. So he has things for like blogging. He has things for writing books, later in the day, lunch. He's scheduled out some times with friends and family, different things like that, okay? And and he's got some workout stuff during the mornings. So on Mondays and Tuesdays for him is things that will help him move towards his goals, the things that are foundations for his business. Wednesday and Thursday are special projects, things that he's working on right now, like writing a book. In my case, my special project is the Bluegrass guitar course, okay? Appointments he's scheduled for Fridays, and he mentions why in that post, a guy that moved all his appointments to Fridays, and, that seemed to work out for him. So that's his Fridays. Saturdays are for personal things, like tasks around the house that he needs to get done, running errands, things like that. And then church and worship is, Sundays. Now, Michael Hyatt, in case you don't know who he is, I've been doing a little, watching some of his blogs, and I've subscribed to his podcast on iTunes. He's awesome. He was the, I think, president, CEO, or some big name in Thomas Nelson Publishers, which is a Christian-based publishing house, and one of the top publishing houses in the world. Okay, so he knows his stuff. He's managed many different things, and right now he's got a big special going on bestyearever.me, I think is what it's called. But he's got tons of free content out there that will, you know, really satisfy what you're needing. If you want to go farther with that in your goal settings, now's the time to do it. He's got the whole course and everything. So I've done my own. Okay, I did my own ideal week. Now, like I said, my printer's the ink is dying except for the black. So instead of doing this in color and it being all streaky, I decided to take a green highlighter and highlight the green areas. Okay, and on retrospect, it's kind of confusing. It kind of messes with your eyes when you're trying to read everything. But my ideal week, and you know what, I may even post this. Might be a good idea. I may even post this on my blog. Let's make a note of that. By the way, I have a pad right beside me for such things. Post my ideal week on blog on secretstotexasbluesguitar.com/news. That's my blog. I don't post on it often. I'm going to try to do more of that this year now that I have things scheduled out to do. Once again, I have self, I have work, I have planning, family, planning each, every day and all this. Now, my ideal week looks like this. I have Bible study, and I need to get better at that. So, first thing in the morning. And another thing, I have been waking up around 6:30 in the mornings now, where I had been waking up at like 11. So, I'm getting a lot more done, as you can imagine. So, 6:30 in the morning is my time to wake up. First thing I get into. Up here is some quiet time. Now this is kind of what my model is. I've got some quiet time up here. I've got hygiene, shower, dress, and eat. 30 minutes. Bible study for an hour, or 9 to 8:30 or 9:30. I'll probably this still is in work in progress. I'll probably reduce some of this stuff, move it around, shift it. This is just to put it on paper to have a place to start, okay? And that's very important. If you don't know where to start, don't think it's going to be perfect. Allow room for margin, allow room for error, room for flexibility. Then I got email, I've got read my business books and blog posts and things like that that I'm behind on, want to catch up on. Through here, Mondays and Tuesdays are foundational, things that contribute to the core of my business, which right now is my website, YouTube, because I get a lot of traffic on YouTube, and my YouTube videos, subscriptions have done awesome this past year. Thank you guys so much. All that stuff is foundational, like YouTube, business, accounting stuff that I have to do, recording videos, social updates on social channels like Facebook, Google Plus, stuff like that. Newsletter stuff. That's people that have subscribed to my newsletter at secretstotexasbluesguitar.com/newsletter. Stuff like that. Okay? That's Monday and Tuesday, foundational. Wednesdays and Thursdays are now dedicated solely to special projects. And also Mondays, YouTube, it has to do with vlogs, video editing, and things like that I need to get done. If possible, I'm trying not to bleed any video editing over into Tuesday and Thursday because I want it to be dedicated, the majority of it anyway, to my special project, the main one of which is Bluegrass guitar, okay, my Bluegrass guitar course. So now you guys will be happy to know that I'm working my best to get that done and get on the ball with that soon, okay? This is for current projects, content creation, new videos and new blog posts, anything I can think of, brainstorming some new ideas. Guitar Hangouts, hopefully those are going to be, I'm not going to promise that, hopefully they'll be on Wednesdays. And by the way, leave me a comment below if you are, if you don't know exactly. I noticed right now that I've got 2 viewers, so that's awesome. Thanks guys so much for watching. You can feel free to participate and jump in anytime if you want to. I do have an agenda, but we can talk guitar stuff or whatever. Maybe at the end of this we can have a Q&A. I don't know how long this will last. Hopefully, you'll be able to see all this. So I've got the chat window open if you need to say anything. But leave me a comment below and when this video comes out, and let me know what time is best for you to have Hangouts for guitar and stuff, because that way I can kind of take an average of the different times, and then we can see and kind of figure out which time will work the best for everybody. I mean, it also depends on students and stuff like that I have, but Right now, I'm kind of invigorated. You know, it's 11, it's 12 in the afternoon before everything starts slowing down and I get all groggy and tired from the rest of the day. I figured earlier is better. So we can do 12 to 1, 11 to 12, somewhere in there. We can try to do later. It'll just depend. So leave me a comment below on that. So vlogs, writing, things like that is dedicated to special projects, Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then Friday, I've also got appointments. This will be for like Skype or hanging out with my virtual assistants, whether it be graphic design, tablature, video editor, web design, whatever. This will be for the days that I meet with them. Meetings, interviews, and also I'm going to try my best to have lunch with people like friends or family. You know, maybe get myself out there, network a little bit more, even if it's with people I know that has nothing to do with business or guitar. Okay. Lesson notes, different things down here. The last half of the days are dedicated to the lessons that I currently have with students right now. Then I have Bible studies and church times down here, visit with my mom, date nights with my wife, planning the next day, and I even have one called Cave Time, which if you've read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, you know what I'm talking about. So this is my ideal week, okay? And I've got it wrote down. Hopefully soon I'll be able to put this on my website as a blog post and as a downloadable one, so you can have a copy of it as well. So that's awesome. That's a good idea. So go to Michael Hyatt's website, check out how to create more margin in your life, check out how to use batching to be more productive. It's something called the Pomodoro technique. I've been using it, and it's been pretty effective this past week. I mean, I'm telling you, it's basically you do a 25-minute task, take a break for 5 minutes, go back, do another 25-minute task, and it breaks it all down. He breaks it all down in his website post there too. So that leads me to becoming a guitarpreneur in 2014. That's what I'm working toward. That's my goals. Also in that is goals that have to do with focusing, and that is, and this is just a short, little rant here. One awesome acronym for focus is follow one course until successful. And I got that from, I think it's called The Midas Touch, a book written by Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump. And I checked that out at the library, an audiobook, messed around with that and listened to it. And things that I have on I'm looking at my wall right now because I have my goals posted up here now, okay? So I can always look at them, no excuses. So one of the focus goals, follow one course until successful. The things I need to focus on this year, for one thing, is get and stay healthy, okay? Number one on my list is study and meditate on the Word, most of all. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8 tells us to meditate in the Word day and night. Okay, let me just go ahead and read that. And if you want to have good success, hey, it's right here. I'll read it to you. Now, I know where all these books are in the Bible, but without a thumb index, it's still kind of hard to get there. Joshua 1, verse 8 is one of my favorite verses of all time, let alone verses for business life. It says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then," that means it's a prerequisite, "for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." And that's why meditating in the Word is my number one focus that I always need to go back to. That's why it's the first thing in my day. After some quiet time and getting ready, showering, eating, and breakfast and all that, the next thing is Bible study, because that's going to be priority in my life. I want to put God to the test, okay? He will make my way prosperous, and that's what it says, and that's what I believe. This is the book of the law. This is the Holy Bible, Old and New Testament. Hey, can't go wrong there, all right? The next thing is get and stay healthy. I need to lose some weight this year, guys. It needs to happen. I find myself short of breath. I find myself tired. And one thing that will help me with that is my sleep schedule, because me getting up early requires me to go to bed earlier than 3 o'clock in the morning than I have been, all right? So I've been going to bed and naturally feeling tired around 10 o'clock. I try to make it around 10:30 to go to bed. 10 just seems too early. Sometimes I do it I have went to bed as early as 8:30 lately because deer season has been here in Tennessee, and it just got over, okay? And now, once again, if you're watching this video weeks down the road, then that'll let you know that this is this has been recorded earlier. But I had to get up for deer season around 4 o'clock in the morning to go meet my dad to go hunt, okay? So after about a month of that, I thought, well, I'm going to take advantage of this. It's time to quit playing around, time to quit staying up all night, watching YouTube, playing video games, and making excuses to stay up, okay? That's childish. And the Bible also says, when I became a man, I put away childish things. And that's childish because I kind of feel like I was a kid. You know how a kid, when they want to fight sleep, they do everything they can. They'll scream. They'll stay up till they're falling over, and, so they won't have to go to bed. And that's what I was doing. I was finding excuses, finding reasons to stay up. And now it's like, let's take advantage of this. It's already been 30 days. I've been doing this for 30 days, which means, if you've ever heard the expression that a new habit can be formed in a month, it has to happen about 21 days in a row to a month in a row before it becomes a new habit. If you want to change your habits, that's the way to do it. Do it for a month, and then it'll become a new habit. So I've done this for a month, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and keep doing this. Let's get up early. Because from what I've been reading from Brian Tracy and all the other guys about, being successful, and even the Bible talks about getting up early in the morning. Everybody that you read about that's successful gets up early in the morning. Now, Michael Hyatt gets up at like 4 in the morning and starts running, which I haven't put on my list to do yet. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to get healthy and stay healthy. I've got some ideas. I need to work exercise into that. I realize that. Like I said, this is a work in progress, okay? So, but, I'm not going to get up at 4 o'clock every morning, at least not right now. I'm kind of taking baby steps. So I'm getting up at 6:30 in the morning, or at least my alarm goes off at 6:30. I usually get up a little bit more around 6:50, hit the snooze button 2 or 3 times. Maybe I need to, anyway, that's a whole other thing. So my focus goal is that the next about this much on the page is all dedicated to Bluegrass. And there it went, okay? That's the name of the course. It totally went out, all right? Crap. Anyway, now you know what it is. I can't really edit that out. But anyway, now you know the name of the product, and I'm not going to say it anymore, okay? Do my best not to say it anymore. That totally happened. Okay, man, I can't believe that. Anyway, not repeating that. Ignore that. You did not hear the name of the course. You did not hear the name of the Bluegrass course. Jedi Mind Trick. Okay? The next thing is, after that, delegate, streamline, and automate, and schedule time off. So, in other words, delegate the tasks that I hate doing or am not good at doing or take forever doing, like movie editing, video editing. Delegate that out. Streamline my life. That's what this right here is going to help me do. This will help things run smoother, okay? Streamline, automate it. Make things automatic. Automate things so that you don't have to be in the process all the time. One thing I've got to figure out a way to do, and I wish YouTube would do, they've got where you can release when you schedule your posts and your videos, you can go back and release them as a post on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. Well, for one thing, Facebook hasn't been working. I don't know why, but it does not release on Facebook. I've connected my account multiple times. There's something wrong with YouTube on there for that. The one thing I would like to see them add is LinkedIn, because I have to go back in LinkedIn every Tuesday when they release, take the time to say, here, let's post this on LinkedIn, let's share it with my groups, and done. So instead of me doing that, now, why didn't I think of this before? Instead of me doing that, see, there's no way to automate that. Google won't, it doesn't have that enabled. So let's get my virtual assistant to do that for me. Okay, let's get somebody to do that for me. So that's one of my goals. Get somebody, get it automated, get it out there, get it done. Okay? So the next thing is to keep my goals handy so that I can have focus. My goals handy. They're right here, right next to me. My whiteboard with my schedule. That's one of my goals, to keep a streamlined life, to get it, Last year was terrible. Last year was book everything, run wild, let's get things done, and let's have, all kinds of bookings and things. I've told I've told both groups right now, I'm going to have to settle down a little bit because life has been hectic. And last year was a big example of that. My calendar last year was so crazy. And right now it's filled up to the max, but I have margin now. I have a schedule. I have, if I don't get it done, I'm not going to fret over that. Pomodoro technique, check that out, okay? P-O-M-O, D-O-R-O technique. Something to do with a tomato timer, okay? Go check that out. Thank you guys so much still for staying with me and sticking with me on this. I'm not playing a lot right now. I'm trying to in between sections and all that, so thank you for the viewers out there. Hopefully this is helping in your life. So keep the goals handy so I can have focus. And simplify, one thing at a time. I'm a big, huge multitasker. I'm telling you, multitasking for me is kryptonite, but it's like candy. I see one thing, it's got to get done. I see another thing, I got to do it too. Oh, that one's waiting. Let's go over here and do this thing. And then it's a big car crash, okay? So one thing I need to remember and to focus on is to simplify things. Do one thing at a time. Don't get so stressed out over everything. The last thing that I need to do on my focus goals 2014 is to start over again. When I do this stuff, go back and start from scratch and do the next process, okay? Continue working on things. Don't just stop. Don't just let the Bluegrass guitar course stop and that be it. How do I get another product out there? Go back and do these goals all over again. And it's it will prove itself to be a consistent formula that works every time, okay? And that is taken from the book Start, simply Start, by a guy named John Acuff. That's a book you need to check out as well. My local library has it. And I may read that again this year. It's a really good book. It talks about the different phases in your life, how at 20 years old you're learning. It's a learning phase. At 30 years old you're applying and doing. At 40 years old you're, mentoring others. It's talking about the different stages in your life and how to just start. So if you got something you want to do this year, don't try to get it perfect. That's one of the things as far as simplify. I may have that up there. I'm not sure, but one of the things I need to really work on is being a perfectionist. Quit trying to get things perfect and just get things done. You can tweak it later. Just get it out there, okay? So now I got 3 viewers. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching so much. The other thing on goals, and then I'll be done with this section. It's definitely going to go over today. Let me go ahead and see who's actually on here. Mwaka or Muareko says that you're going to watch. So if you're watching, thanks so much. Chad Boston, it says that you are going to watch. Thanks so much if you're watching, Chad. Teo P is going to watch. Thank you, Teo, for watching if you're here. And it says Paul Taylor is going to watch. So, Paul, if you're on here, thanks so much for watching as well. I also have another guy, excuse me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Paolo is going to watch. So I only have 3 viewers on here right now, but thanks to everybody that wanted to watch this. I'm not sure how I can change the thumbnail on this, but anyway, Chad, he says I do website work, and this is on the events page, by the way. He commented. Says I do website work and custom editing. Check out gulacy.com. Gulacy. That's my video. Send me an email, and he gives his email. I'll send you my phone, and got lots of ideas. Chad, website work and custom editing. Chad, I'll definitely check that out. Thanks so much for giving me that resource. Definitely check that out. I'm going to go ahead and type an update real quick. Okay. Oh, man, excuse me. Man, coughing fits here. Take a big swig out of my apple juice / water jug. Okay. Like I said, the last thing on this goals is another thing that Michael Hyatt talks about in his video, one of the videos for his best year ever thing. And basically that's at bestyearever.me, I'm pretty sure. But he talks about SMART goals, and I've heard this, you've heard this, you know, forever. Basically that is, and I'll go ahead and look that up here. Go back to minimize the wrong thing here. SMART. Everybody's probably heard this. That's an acronym for specific. Before I forget, focus. Let's do that one more time. Focus is follow one course until successful. That's the acronym. Like I said, I got that from Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that whole series, in a book called Midas Touch. The next thing is SMART. S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for actionable, R is for realistic, and T is for time-bound, okay? I have SMART goals that I now actually went to his bestyearever.me. He tells you to comment in the sections below. This actually appeared on my Facebook page as well if you go to facebook.com/theericbeatty. And I posted my SMART goals, and I printed them out. I thought, well, you know what? I'm writing them down. I'm posting them out there. They're out there now. Let's go ahead and print these out. So I copied them and pasted them onto a new document and printed them out, okay? Now, these are specific goals. So I've measured all these, and these are things that are measurable, actionable, specific. Things like measurable, okay? How can I measure something? Well, my measurable goal is I want to reach at least 500 people with my products and help them play guitar better than they ever have by the end of this year. So I'd like to have 500 people to be reached. Now, YouTube obviously is one way to do that. YouTube is an awesome way to promote not only my products but to reach out to people and help them play guitar, okay? And the next thing is an actionable goal. I want to continue to stick to the timeline, which is the one I'm going to create later today for my Bluegrass guitar course. I want that timeline to be set, and I want to take actions to lead me. It's actionable. I want to take the actions that lead me to that final goal. Okay, so I have that on my Facebook page. You can check that out. Once again, I may use these as blog posts. This may be awesome. You know, I could use all these as blog posts. Let's go ahead and write that down. All right. So that's being a Guitarpreneur in 2014. That's what I'm shooting for this year, working towards that. And the other thing is, I recently won a subscription to ArtistWorks, and I elected to do the Paul Gilbert Rock Online Guitar School. I've been wanting to get better on guitar, especially electric guitar, get better knowledge of the fretboard scales, techniques, and things like that. And I've studied Paul Gilbert for years, but now he has a video exchange course on ArtistWorks, and I've also got a link to that. And I'm not sure if I'll leave it down here or not. I don't know exactly what links may be or may not be down in the bottom here, but I've done these on some other posts and everything, and one of them is a link to Paul Gilbert's online rock guitar school. Right now, it's kind of in limbo because something happened where the subscription's not letting me in. They're having to check that out. But basically, I won a free 3-month subscription. Hello, Bug Eyes. I'm totally psyched about that. And so I'm really enjoying that. For the last week, I was able to use it. I'll probably tell more and do more vlog posts or more video posts like this as we go along about that. But I just wanted to let you know I'm working hard to learn more so that I can give more back to you guys and maybe create more products that are geared towards people that need to play guitar, want to play guitar better. All right, so that's the end of this section. And later on, when this video is edited, chopped up, I'll just say thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and all that stuff. But that'll be for the end of that section.